have and in studio with us today, and we're so grateful that you are here in person.
Thank you.
Okay, so yes. So one thing we want to do before we get started, we want to do a real quick sound check for those of you who are in the Love Healing Room. Make sure that you can hear us well. Let us know. Secret and silent flutterbys, can you hear us okay? Okay. We're going to take that as a yes, because I made sure that I clicked off of mute. But we're going to check in multiple times during the show because, yeah, we got a lot going on, a whole lot going on. But it's January. It's still the beginning of 2021, and we are doing things. We're growing. So bear with us as we, do new stuff and might not get it completely right. It's okay.
Yep, it's all good.
It's all good. And today we're talking about facing the hurts. Right, I know. Inhale deeply. Right. That is gonna be a really, really interesting and emotional topic. And luckily, we're in a judgment-free space. We are in a space where we are supporting in love completely. That doesn't mean that we're all going to agree, but we still going to support each other in love. And without further ado, we're going to introduce ourselves. I am Jo Cooper.
Oma. Bela Darla. LaDonna Lydia Truth.
Lady of Truth.
Lady of Truth.
Yes. Okay. So facing the hurts. I want to start out, get the conversation going. I came across a quote from Instagram. I follow this site called it's called Consciousness. I always get tongue-tied when I go to say it, but the quote that I saw today was, the people you lose during your healing process are only meant to be with the unhealed version of you.
Ooh, that went deep.
That was really deep.
Yeah.
Right.
You should say that again.
I think so.
Yes.
The people you lose during your healing process are only meant to be with the unhealed version of you.
Oh my God, that's I'm stuttering. Yes.
Right. And guess what? It's up to, we have to let them stay in that space.
Yeah.
Stay, holding on to that part of us. We've moved on. So we need constant reminders. It's okay to move on. You can't take everybody with you. So many need to be left back there. I mean, I ain't saying kick rocks with no shoes on. I'm just saying,
Yes.
I have to leave you back there so that I can continue to, be the best version of myself.
Absolutely. It's a presence.
It most certainly is. So, okay. The quote got us started.
Yeah. That's a for real moment. Just to sit back and just really think about, when you think about that person that's there regarding the unhealed part of you, then you think, oh, what's unhealed about me? When I look at that, so yeah, make you do some introspection, make me really, evaluate myself, my relationships, all of that. Ooh, yeah.
And allowing that, do you want that person to stay? Because that also means that you're letting that unhealed portion.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You gotta stay back there.
Yes. Or better yet, you're with something dead and non-existent.
if I win 4. So you're really in an illusion within yourself.
Wow. Yes.
So, okay. Love Healing Room, one more time, we're gonna check in with you because we wanna make sure that you all can be a part of the conversation actively. For those of you who are new to the Love Healing Room, the first half an hour, we kind of talk about the topic just to get the conversation flowing. But this space, this hour is really to support those in the Love Healing Room. And if you're on social media and you can't send us a chat message, call in, dial 248-289-5882. And you can always remain anonymous. This is a space where really we're just here to support your story, give you a platform to speak your story. And if you decide that in the second half, that's when you want to speak up, great. That's open forum, and we talk about anything and everything. So make sure you double dutch in when you're ready, because we want to hear from you. But again, we're going to take a moment to give you a chance to speak, but we're doing a sound check as well. Go ahead. You want to speak? All right, secret and silent flutterbys. If you change your mind, come on back. We want to hear from you. Okay. All right. So let's get back to this topic, facing the hurts. A lot of times when you're in let's say in a love relationship and your significant other does something to hurt you, it's like I don't know. I usually do some self-evaluation. I have to look, well, what did I do in the relationship? And I hold myself accountable. Yeah, I'm not perfect, but I know that in all of my relationships, I was a good woman. I really was a good partner to have. But I learned the hard way, that's not enough. The person that I was in a relationship with had to want the same thing.
Yes.
They had to want to be there. So, okay, I look at me, but then I have to hold them responsible, hold them accountable. So a lot of times we only want to blame the other person. And I think it's important that we actually look at ourselves first and then go from there. Because there's a lot of lessons I learned from each of my relationships. So, what, Terry?
I think over the years, I just learned that the letting go part is the hardest part. But when you do, you realize it frees you to really be you. And as much as, and especially if it's your baby mama, your daddy mama, or
Baby daddy.
baby daddy, that it's a choice that you have to really make. And I found out when I did that, and I'm sorry, this is me, and this is just Terry. I know I'm a good woman too. I give you a certain amount of time to figure that out. But I learned that young. I really did. And I'm talking maybe my early 30s. I ended up learning that and to let go. And we can still be friends. And I think that's the great part of it. We can still be friends and amicable, when we meet one another. And it's all about the raising of a child at that particular point.
But even if you didn't have a child, I mean, I had some guys, they really tried to play me.
Yes.
They were playing me. And I had to be like, it's not okay. But guess what? I'm cool with you.
Yep.
I'm cool with you.
I already know how I gotta deal with you.
I'm just not going to entertain dating you anymore. But right, we can still be, I can be cool, I can be cordial.
Associates.
Right.
And we friends with benefits. No. But no, I'm only I'm teasing with that particular
No, I-
part with
People
it,
ask
but
that.
sometimes people are in relationships 5, 10, 15 years before they actually realize this is not benefiting me. And it's not benefiting your partner, with it. So let's just be upfront with one another. And I know that can be kind of hard to even do because you have now enabled one another
Mhm,
in the
right,
relationship
right,
with it.
exactly, of the bad behavior.
Of the bad behavior. And then people do take advantage of that. And it's just ain't nice. It's not right whatsoever. But love yourself enough to step away.
But that's part of facing the hurt. You actually have to be honest with yourself about the situation. And once you're honest with yourself about the situation, then you can do something about it.
When you have the awareness that you're dysfunctional, then you have the opportunity to make a decision to live or die, because that circumstance will kill you, and it will kill you physically eventually too, but mentally, metaphysically, it happens in the mind first and materialize in the body. So you will die if you don't love yourself enough to move, even though it hurts like hell. Can I say hell?
Yep, you can.
Even though it hurts like hell, it's far more better the reward of you loving you and putting you first and discovering yourself and your identity and your elevation and your progression and your forgiveness and your love and your peace. And you could give that to the individual that you removed yourself for.
I agree.
I was listening to Dr. Darius Daniels, and he did a series called Love and Basketball, and it was about relationships, and he used the analogy of basketball and how when it gets to that point in your relationship where you continually foul each other, keep committing fouls against one another until eventually somebody fouls out.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And you just keep these offenses and the toxicity and all of that negative stuff. You keep committing against one another a lot of times until somebody files out and then game over.
But think about it, while you're in the game, sometimes you don't realize that you start playing the same way that other person is playing.
Yeah. Ooh, say
I
that
had
again.
that happen to me.
Yes.
I started being mean. I started being short and
Vindictive.
very vindictive. And because you were cheating on me, I'm gonna start talking to other people too. But that's not my character.
That game.
But that I had to really look at myself and hold me accountable. That's not who I want to be as a woman.
Yes.
And at the time now as a mother, I don't want that type of energy for my daughter. So I had to make a decision to remove myself from the relationship and then start to date differently. If I know that a man is not able to be faithful to me, okay. Deuces. Out. It's okay.
Because you start to lose your character when you start to play the game. Your character is lost. You done lost focus, balance, character, alignment within yourself, and now you are double ass.
And you're not happy.
And you're not happy. And you're gonna be gradually doing everything. It's gonna be just gradually.
It starts to manifest.
Can I show y'all my shirt, ladies?
Yes, please.
So one of the things that I did, this is my shirt. Inhale, exhale your shit.
Right.
Inhale, exhale your shit. The acronym for shit is submitted, hurt, ills, truth. When we have been so conditioned to be submitted to our hurt that it ills the truth right before us. So inhale and exhale that shit and flush it. Because it can contaminate you, start playing with it. And that's a good analogy. Sometimes you want to make it a visual. You playing in some shit and rubbing it on you and then touching other stuff and just contaminating everything. Yeah.
Wow. But that takes that takes a whole lot of accountability
Yes.
Self-examination.
and self-responsibility. We were talking about self-responsibility
Last week.
last
yes.
week.
Absolutely.
All right, Love Healing Room,
Yes,
we've
so-
really gotten the conversation started, and thanks to Lady of Truth, she done gave us some real SHIT. All right, so we want to check in with you and give you an opportunity to impart your story. The line is open, secret and silent flutterbies. And why you got that shirt covered up?
Oh, because I was actually loving this scarf.
I love it
I love
too.
this scarf, but
Yes.
inhale, exhale. Put the crystal right
Mhm.
there. Let the shirt show.
Yes, let the
Let
shirt
me see
show.
it good. Posture, so you
Yes.
can see the shirt. The shirt. It make your boobs look bigger.
I think the camera makes everything look bigger. It really does.
Ooh,
All right.
Yes.
Love Healing Room is
Quiet.
quiet. That's all right. We don't mind quiet. We just glad that you're here, giving yourself this time, because there are a lot of people who are not able to be with us for whatever reason. But we do know that our audience, they tune into the Love Healing Room, and we want to make sure that we support you in any way that we can. So remember, you can go to our website, click on contact if you need some one-on-one time in the Love Healing Room, thelovehealingroom.com. All right, so back to this conversation, because before we know it, it's going to be at the halfway mark, which we can talk about anything anyway, but back to this topic of facing the hurts.
Facing hurt.
Because sometimes it's not a hurt from a relationship, a love relationship. It could be a hurt from a parent,
I was going to say from a family
a
relationship.
family relationship. And out of my experience of some of the hurts that I've had in the past, I really had to really face them by allowing myself to feel the hurt that I was feeling, not suppressing it, trying to cover it up, by drinking or whatever vice you might use, but to really face it. And I even had to hear some hard truths about myself and own it so that I could, and me and the person in the relationship, the family member, that we can move forward, because my goal is to go forward in love. This, whatever, has been going on generationally in the relationships in our family, it's got to stop. And somebody has to stand up and say, no more of that shit.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. So I'm having those conversations. Yeah.
But it's a choice. It really is a choice. And the fact that you do have to be willing to hear the hard part, the hard stuff, as
The
much
not so
as
pretty parts.
right, the not so pretty. And we all have them. But there's always an opportunity to heal from that.
Starting today.
Yes.
Day one, y'all.
And you know what? A lot of times people don't address it because it's unaware. And if they are aware that they're toxic, they don't know mechanisms. Like, I do poetry, I create, I draw. I've been doing it since my 20s because I needed to find positive ways to release my pain, not another man on my list. No. And it works. It'll leave you, it releases you, and you get to ground yourself at the same time and then create something beautiful at the same time and have your dignity intact at the same time.
So yes, having a positive outlet
Yes.
is important. And anytime something negative is presented to you, there's an opportunity for you to put something positive in its place.
Yes.
Always.
Always.
It's a choice though. It's not always easy, because a lot of times when you are faced with hurt, somebody is not going to be happy. And you always have to make sure that the outcome is that you want you to be happy first. And if you're coming from a place of, love, it may not come out pretty or easily, but in the end, it's worth it.
Yes.
At least that's been my experience. And not everybody is ready. And if people are not ready, I have to respect that and still do what is best for me.
What I discovered is that if an individual doesn't want to deal with the trauma, the hidden trauma, then you going forward will be the catalyst for them, because you're being that epistle, the witness that change is possible. Even in the midst of the torment of your mind, because they fail to realize that you're tormenting yourself because you are actually taught to torment yourself. Society teaches you to torment yourself, and therefore to torment others. Is in the music, is in the food, is everywhere around us. So I believe that a lot of things, how was it? The shit was here before we came into existence.
Nothing is.
And we grabbed and applied it to ourselves, and we could teach the next generation that you do not have to apply hurt to yourself, that this is not normalcy for us as human beings.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
We're constantly injuring ourselves.
Yes.
Well, a lot of times we're constantly on 10 and we don't even know how to get down to 1 or
Say that.
0
That's right.
with it. And that's the one thing, when I talk to someone, and you can almost immediately tell, especially if you've been friends for a while, which way this conversation is going.
Right.
And it's just like, and at some points, someone is going to have to stand up and say, I've heard the story.
Oh, we gonna talk about that too, aren't we?
Yeah, that's coming up. But you want to be able to change. And I always tell my children, because they're the closest to me and my tribe, the power of choice.
Yes.
It is so, you don't even, until you make it, you know how powerful your choice, it's going to be. And I choose to wake up every day, damn happy,
Yes.
every day. And then I have to check myself when I'm not.
Right. Right.
And you know what? People are embarrassed. They be embarrassed because they want to keep the facade up when they just need to tear that veil down and let all that pain spill out.
And sometimes they don't feel like they have the support to let the veil down.
They do. They have to know within themselves.
Right.
Sure.
Well, okay, yes, they do have it within themselves. But I say this almost every week. This is why the Love Healing Room space was created, because we all need to feel like we can let our shit out and not feel like we're going to be criticized. We're going to be damned to hell. We're going to be told that we're crazy, or what we feel doesn't make sense or matter. All of that stuff. I don't need to defend how I feel.
Yes.
So at some point you have to be able to express it and just be able to go through the process, whatever that process is.
You know what my friend said to me? She said, when it came in ugly, the assault, then sometimes it come out ugly.
Sometimes.
Because I know mine came out ugly. Y'all saw it. It was ugly, but the Love Healing Room saved me. And I used this space years and years ago to even express how I felt about what I was going through with everyone. And it was non-judgment, a space, and it received me. And I became the #1 fan.
Yes.
Every week.
Every week. Yes.
Lady supported us.
Yes.
So it's beautiful. And
So
when you-
love conquers.
yeah,
It really does.
Yes.
It does.
But sometimes you do have to do some screaming, some cussing, some, some fighting for your life,
Yes.
for your spiritual life,
Yes.
your emotional life, your mental life, your
Yes.
physical life. You have to be
Psychological.
right. It's worth it. You gotta scream, cry, pray, all of that.
And also doing it in a way where it's not violent.
Yes.
And sometimes some people may be used to that and they think that it's the norm when it isn't, because we can have a disagreement with one another without it getting boisterous or physical to a certain, extent with it. Please don't put your hands on me. That's not a good thing. You might see a side.
It's not gonna turn out good at all.
It might not turn out good at all.
Yeah.
But don't push people to that extent.
Yes.
But if it's a norm for you and that's your MO, that would have been recognized at the very, I'm not gonna say at the very beginning, but you'll
Well,
recognize.
almost at the beginning, Terry. I'm telling you, I had that story too. And
Red light. No
I
flags.
ignored,
red flags.
I explained them away.
Girls.
That's
I explained it away.
desperation.
It was, you do see the good in people,
Yeah.
but excuse me, recognize and accept when the bad is what's on the surface.
Yes. When it's overpowering.
Oh my God,
When
it's
the
slapping
good
you
is
in the face.
outweighing.
It was
Yes.
slapping me in the face. The fact that this person was going to be physically and verbally and emotionally abusive to me was slapping me in the face very early in our relationship. And I waited until he slapped me in the face before I really stepped away.
It take that sometimes.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's how I had to learn that he couldn't be the man that I needed him to be because he was damaged. Whatever that damage is, it wasn't up for me to fix it. I was trying to fix it. You can't fix nobody
And I
else.
started humming.
You can't fix nobody else. Right, rocking.
But you know what? You become a narcissist to try to control someone. You do have the right intentions, but you can't control someone to elevate when they don't want to elevate.
This is very true.
And then the narcissism is you because look what you doing to me. No, look what you doing.
Oh yeah,
to
crying
yourself.
victim. No,
Yes.
I didn't cry
You're the
victim.
victim.
Yeah, I didn't cry victim. Thankfully, and luckily, and I was young. I was in my early 20s, and I had to also recognize I had codependency issues
That word.
because it's a thing.
It really is.
It's a thing. I had codependency issues and I had abandonment issues. It still took me another 20 years to get rid of that abandonment issue thing, but the codependency, I recognized it. I didn't heal it. I just recognized there's phases. There's phases in the process. But okay, we're at the halfway mark and I'm gonna pause for just a moment because we're really good into the conversation. I'm enjoying it. But we want to give the rest of the Love Healing Room family a chance to chime in. We want to hear from you, Love Healing Room, Secret and Silent Flutterbies. Share your part of facing the hurts or whatever else is on your mind.
This music good to me.
All right, remember, we do not own the rights to this music, but we do own the right to jam to it. So we got shout out from Facebook. Crystal Nicole says, hey ladies. Hi, Crystal. Welcome, Crystal.
That's my esthetician, y'all.
That is the skin doctor.
Yes.
Beautification is what she got going on. She's gonna be with us next week.
Yes.
Welcome.
Auntie.
All right. Crystal says, hey y'all. All right. Okay. So remember, if you are watching us on any of the social media platforms, if you want to call in and be a part of the conversation anonymously, you can dial 248-289-5882. Again, that's 248-289-5882. All right. Okay. So now that we are open forum, we can keep talking about healing the hurts, or not healing the hurts. Dang it. Facing. That is part of the healing. That is like one of the first steps to the healing process, but facing the hurts. We can continue talking about that, or we can talk about Whatever else y'all want to talk about
I
it.
wanted to talk about another type of hurt that I know that people have carried with them for years. And those are those hurts from your childhood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Those
definitely.
childhood
Yeah.
hurts.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
You know.
Woo.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right, I'm about to start sweating.
I carried some for a very, very long time. You know, I always have shared how, you know, I was ridiculed as a child, then when I went into puberty and started getting that puberty weight, I mean, I was ridiculed by people, perfect strangers, all the way to my siblings, just people, period, would just ridicule me and make jokes about me. So I carried that hurt with me for a long time. And then, you know, the experience with my dad, you know, so I carried that with me for all of my adulthood, carrying that hurt, you know, applying it, not knowing that I'm applying this, it was causing me to self-sabotage.
Right.
My whole life,
Right.
everything, I was self-sabotaging. So it's very important to face that hurt. And one of the things I had to do was really face how I feel and acknowledge how I felt about it. Instead of, for years, I just try to cover it up. And what you seen on the outside was not what was going on
Right.
the inside.
Right.
It was a whole nother story in here, you know. And so now that, you know, I've been healed of all of that, you know, my glow, I can glow up. My glow is coming through. But it's very important, men and women,
Yes. Yes.
to face those hurts. Don't keep, you know, because you don't want to feel that pain again. You're going to have to go on and feel it.
Well, because it does, it shows up in other ways.
It shows up, it shows out, it comes out, and everything in different ways. So I suggest that you do that. And we got to have a person in our life. And I thank God that all these ladies are my person. I have a few people, my God, and sisters that, you know, I can confide in, that I can be vulnerable with, I can be honest with, transparent with, in a non-judging way, you know, and receive and love and correction or whatever I need to get in love and through love and by love and because of love. So, but, you know, I just want to be able to help others to be able to come into your fullness and your wholeness, and by facing those things and letting them go.
So I think we need to have a conversation around that, because I know both your parents have passed on. Your parents have passed on. Your parents have passed on. My father is gone, but my mom is still here. And I have struggled with my relationship with my mom. And a lot of people have unresolved childhood issues that need to be addressed in order to be well and be whole now.
Yes. Now.
And for, you know, I'm grateful that I say, and I'm announcing that it is no longer going to be my mantra in my family. Amen. Between my siblings and my mom. I said, forgiveness is a constant with us. But I'm believing that we will have healing, and we don't have to have forgiveness constantly. Exactly. We're not constantly at odds or at opposite ends of love for each other and in our relationship. And so we need to be able to have that conversation even with our parents who passed on, in order to heal the connection.
I had to. And
I know.
I did.
All three of you have shared that.
Oh, yes. It is the most beautiful thing. And I think for me, 2021 is about wholeness.
Yes.
Wholeness.
Yes.
So dealing with whatever it is that you have through childhood, because like I said before, my parents have been gone for a while, and it took me almost 40 years to even acknowledge my grandmother. But when she came to me and I had that love for me, then we were able to talk, you know, and I was able to let go, you know, of that. And it's the most beautiful thing. I cannot tell you, when you get to that place, and to be able to let go so I can be whole. Because if I'm not completely whole, how can my relationships be? How can with my children, with my siblings? It affects every area of your life, you know.
The
with this
unseen
even.
area too.
Oh,
yes,
definitely.
The unseen area. But one thing that I could say, it's my mom always told me that I would not understand until she passed away. Because the hardship and the hurt and the things that we went through with her. But my mom was hurt because she was the only one fighting on that level in the family. She was the one fighting against the incest. She was the one fighting against the abuse, but she didn't have support. She told us to take the good part of her and throw that other shit in the trash and be better and be great. And that's what I stand on today. And that's her legacy for our family. And she had relationships with all of her kids and grandchildren. And she planted seeds in us. I was so unaware of what she was doing because she hurt me because of her hurt. But she was resilient on the inside, strong. And that love. Y'all saying all my poems too. I'm tripping out. Because I say, who would stand up and address the mess and address the truth? Because the youth is coming behind and we want them to shine, not experiencing perilous times in their minds. It's a crime. And that's what we're doing. We're passing down a different legacy. We're pivoting.
Yes.
Different changing the trajectory.
Yes. Change is possible and we're the proof.
And you got some Facebook comments. I can't see them.
Yes. Crystal says, yes, women should do work on themselves before they can expect real love from any type of relationship in order for you to become a great friend, wife, mother, or a person in general. I totally agree. And then she says, not just women, everyone.
Yes.
Amen. That's right. And it's something about in society, and before I go on, because Harold, thank you, Harold. Let me read Harold's comment too. I don't want to forget Harold. Harold said, hello to all of you beautiful ladies. Very poignant and powerful as usual. Thank you, Harold.
Thank you.
I know that's right. Represent. So it's just society has created all types of things. Let's just say create all types of things that are not useful, things that are harmful. So it is not, and there are a lot of distracting things going on right now. So I want to bring the focus back to love. And our people need to have this. They need to have this because I know that we're more powerful than that darkness. I know that.
Yes, absolutely.
And we're crying out for this. We're crying out for love. We're crying out for being connected on a spiritual and physical and financial and relationship just every level. We're crying out for things to be different. I'm believing that it is going to be different because we're stepping up.
What they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will come, and vice versa.
Yes.
And because we're allowing ourselves to emerge in our kingship, our goddess, therefore it's just gonna you don't even gonna have to say anything. They're gonna see that energy coming off of you, that love, that peace, that change. And sometimes you have to hurt it yourself. You have to distract yourself out and go somewhere and do some introspect within yourself. Introspect 101 is necessary.
Oh, trust me. And this is the process. And it's all good. I'm gonna say that's all good. Even when it hurt, it's all good. All right, so we're gonna check in again with our Love Healing Room audience. You all have been super, super silent, but we want to make sure we give you a chance to share. The line is open.
Hi, ladies. I've been watching you through. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
We can hear you. Go ahead. Uh-oh.
You know.
No, it's on speaker. We missed her. I think she may have dropped off.
Bishop, my microphone.
Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I've been listening, but I've been watching through YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you good. Uh-oh, she can't hear us. Oh,
I didn't realize that was.
okay. Can you hear us now?
But I can't hear you through my phone.
Oh,
Maybe
I
because
can't hear you through my phone. I took YouTube off and tried to speak to you, and I couldn't hear anything.
can you hear us now?
Well, I'm on YouTube. I don't know.
But we can hear you fine. You want to go ahead and share?
But she can't hear us.
I don't know. That's weird.
We'll tell her to type it in.
No, she's on the phone.
Oh, I thought she
And
said she went back to
Okay, so I'm
YouTube.
on YouTube, and the reason I wanted to speak to you was to say, I appreciate the venue. Because I'm someone who, when I'm upset or hurt, I vent.
Venting is good because that is a way for you to release whatever is on your, on your mind and on your heart. Right? Isn't that a good way of communicating? Well, it's not the only way that you communicate, I'm sure, but it is supposed to be released. And what I found is that when you don't release it, the story and the conversation that goes on in your mind is not always helpful. Usually it's not. It lies, but
But you need somebody to speak back to,
yeah.
because it's in your head. But you need somebody to at least respond to that. Give your feedback on, what you're saying, to even correct to a certain extent, because what you hear is not always,
Well, when you think about the ego is a sabotager. I don't know why the ego is such a sabotager, but I found that the negative voice in your head, or the voice in your head, I should say, is very negative, typically. So when you are expressing yourself by venting, that's a way of communicating, and hopefully whoever you're venting to is able to give you a supportive perspective. Because sometimes we just need somebody to listen, and other times we need someone to help bring us down off of that place of emotion that is stressful. Because venting usually is because you're stressed.
Yeah, very good.
Did you have something else you wanted to share? And did we address what you mentioned about venting? I hope she can hear us. All right, not sure if she's still there, but Love Healing Room, thank you for chiming in. If there's anyone else on the line who wants to share, just make sure you double dutch in. And for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Periscope, or even YouTube, if you want to comment with your voice, please dial into 248-289-5882. Again, that's 248-289-5882. Because before we leave, we gotta take just a few minutes because we have a new segment, our business spotlight segment. And Lady of Truth is here in person and she has some amazing products to share with us. You have your website written down? I'll put that in the chat.
Well, hi. Let me write it for you.
So you could tell us about your products.
Okay, so Lady Creations is all of my creations. When I was in my 20s, I had needed a positive way to release the trauma of the divorce, and a whole bunch of other stuff built on top of it. And poetry came forth. So did artwork, and as the time continued to progress over the 20 years, I have created a whole shop of all of my products. So some of my products this is Darla's favorite.
Yes. I
The
love that
facial moisturizer. Facial moisturizer. This is her favorite. Then we have the mango body butter. This is Dacia's mango body butter. I know she's watching, Dacia. And then we have the Yoni Sting. Yoni Sting.
Try that.
Yoni Sting. We have fabric. I have fabric. We have all types of fabric. I design fabric. My artwork. I actually, let me
This
open
is
it.
her artwork.
My artwork, and I created on my own fabric.
Ooh, beautiful.
Yes. And this is my positive release. So we could channel and find positive releases. And the book is actually on the shop too. And poetry, I have lip gloss, I have everything you could think of. I have products to help heal the mind, to heal. Hey, I got something called Cramps Be Gone. That's awesome. I can't wait to put that on the shop. You guys, find your resolutions for things that torment you. Them craps was tormenting me all my life, and I became addicted to painkillers at a young age. I was eating like 16 Motrins in 2 days.
Oh my goodness.
And I was tearing up the lining of my stomach, but I was in pain. But guess what? I wasn't taught a proper way to deal with the pain. So I did what I thought was best, and what I mimicked. I saw other people doing in my family as well, because that pain is labor pain. So I designed a tea, Cramps Be Gone, a herbal tea. It works. I tried it. I'm the first one. It will be available in the springtime on ladycreationsloc.com.
All right.
Yes.
So we did put the website in the Facebook chat, and we'll have to get more information and share it on
Oh, the
Facebook.
book, you can just Google my name, LaDonna Booker McLemore. Go to Lady Donna. I think it's Lady Donna. No, it's Lady Creations
Yep.
on Facebook.
Okay.
And the book is on the shop. You can just click the link and you can find the book, or you could get an ebook or the book. And these poems, 20 years, they still speak.
Yes.
It's prolific. It will change your life. Guess what? And everything they was talking about is in this book. So
Yes.
if you want deliverance and you want to elevate some purpose in your life,
Because you got over how many?
oh, it's 100 in
poems?
that book, but I got 1,000 poems.
Yeah, because I was blessed to be able to proof her book for her
Yes.
and write the forward.
Yes.
Streams of Promise.
The streams of promise is the
Yes.
authenticity, did I say it right? Of yourself.
Authenticity. Yes.
Of yourself.
Yes.
Manifest you.
Beautiful. All right, so make sure you pick up Lady of Truth's book on ladycreationsllc.com.
Or on Amazon. Just go on Amazon and put my name, LaDonna Booker McLemore. It's there.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
More to come.
More.
All right, so Crystal says, yes, T. And she said, I love poems.
Oh.
Yes, 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 yes. So we'll have to have you back too.
Yeah, and give a poem
Just
to
to
us.
read, you know, read.
Yes.
Can I would like to read one before we go. And it's called I Release the Pain. A perfect poem. I was on the floor crying, but this is releasing the pain of my childhood. Like Darlene said, a lot of that pain comes from childhood and it grows into a monster. because it hasn't been dealt with. Okay, now. Okay. This. I should have brought this in. Yeah, see, this is a whole. This is when I redid it, so it's a little different from the original one. So I gotta go look at the table of contents.
Okay, well, while you
They
look
got
for
you
that,
table.
exactly. We'll check in with the audience. If there's any final shares in the Love Healing Room, we'd love to hear from you. The line is open. Any questions or comments regarding our topic or anything that's been discussed, or any questions about Lady of Truth's products, make sure that you contact the Love Healing Room, and we'll be more than willing to share any information regarding her products.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, she found it.
So I release the pain. I remember when I was little, watching mom go through so many things, trying to feed 4 kids with little money, eating neck bones and green beans. She tried to stay strong. Adversities had her mind so gone. She was full of anger with pain, smoking weed to stay sane, drinking day after day to numb the pain. She didn't know how to regain. Her soul was dying, and we felt it each day. I understood, I withstood with unconditional love, holding her in my arms with a soft rub. She was a good person. It was hard to see at times. Asking me to give her a dime, it was a crime. Our house was the spot on the block. People in and out late at night. I grew up full of fright with no respect for self. See, my role model was a crack fiend that lost her dreams. Her soul was in anguish as she screamed while getting beat as I watched nightmares in my sleep. My childhood was stolen by poverty, abuse, drugs, and no love. I wanted someone to show me love. My mom did the best she could. I forgive her only if she could. I grew up chasing after men. In the end, I was living in sin. Now I'm taking the pen, helping someone get delivered within. See, Jesus is the light, the one who comes to give us life more abundantly. So release your burdens and pain so you can gain and feel his unconditional love, no more shame. I release it all. I release it all. I release the pain. And my mom released the pain too. She heard this poem and it broke her down. And we all can release some pains, and we have to stop being embarrassed about what we're going through and know that it's people out here that will help you through because they went through it. And I'm not ashamed about all the things I went through. I'm going through things at this present moment. But the outcome gonna be far greater. Because I'm a boss. I'm a boss. I'm a boss. That's that energy, that strength you feel. That's that release when you release that shit.
Yes. Yes.
Man, release that shit.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so clearly you make t-shirts.
I make t-shirts, inspirational t-shirts, and the Dollar and I, we're coming up with affirmations. And it's called Affirm Your Tea. And that's part of it. That's why I'm making products for my people. It may be hidden or however, but it's for you guys. It's for you to be healed. Inhale, exhale your shit.
That's right.
And then who is Elizabeth? They gonna love that one. I'm Elizabeth. And we gonna tell y'all who Elizabeth is. And everything is it's so much flowing, but this comes from releasing the trauma. What's the word keep coming to me? The bureaucracy. When you let that stuff go, the truth of you will surely emerge. And I am unapologetic about who I am on today. I got called crazy. I get called crazy. Somebody probably calls me crazy now. Thank you by default, meaning out of the ordinary.
So what?
No, that's default. They compliment me default because it means out of the ordinary. So I accept that I'm out of the ordinary. I'm not a trend. Okay. I'm a trendsetter.
That's right.
I'm a creator.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay. Let me start yelling. Run around this table and we done.
I'm sure y'all feel that energy because it's like powerful writing.
Right, because if you were here, you would just feel
Vibrating. It's vibrating.
Yes.
Okay, so this is like getting the conversation started. There's just so much healing that is needed.
And it's gonna get them good because we felt the yoni. We got to take care of our yoni. We got to. We have to understand the depths life come through
Mm.
into this world through the yoni,
Mm,
and the yoni is sick.
mm.
So how can you heal your kings when your yoni is sick? You need to steam them bacteria,
I
them
know that's right.
unwanted,
That's right.
dirty filth
Microbes.
up out of your body.
Out. Heal. But it's all about healing though.
Yes.
But I'm thinking,
Ooh, that's
because I know they have the yoni for the women.
That they it's something for men too. I ain't
I
created
do.
that yet.
All right, I'm just trying to figure out how it's
It
coming
is.
out.
It's
That-
gonna come out.
It's gonna come out.
Okay, just asking.
Because you could do it internal,
Yeah, I
or you
was
can
gonna
do it
say.
external to cause it to flush it out.
And all the stuff that's in your
Large and
And your-
small
Yes.
intestines.
It's locked in the
Yes.
intestinal walls, and that's part of that shit. And some people can't shit because they full
right.
of it.
They full of it. It's impacted. It's
Yeah.
stuffed.
A lot of people have died of that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna do a whole health thing.
Yes.
We have
yes.
to,
Because when I released the mental, because I was constipated for most of my life, and then I mean,
especially all them damn Motrin you were
yeah.
chopping
And when
out.
I released all that stuff, I started.
purging.
I thought I was mad at first.
Like how much
But
shit is coming
People
out?
don't know that that negativity is connected to your intestines, to your bowels,
Yes.
to your gut. And you wonder why your gut is unhealthy, because your brain, your mind is unhealthy, your thoughts is unhealthy.
Love is the root of all healing.
Yeah.
Ooh, say it.
Love is the root of all healing.
That's right.
Sure is.
Not shit.
Love is that.
Okay, so we're not done. Like I said, this is just the beginning of this conversation. We got you started. It's Sunday. It's the beginning of a new week. It is a new day. Day one day.
It's your choice.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
If you are not already following us on every social media platform, find Love Healing Room. We are here. We're growing. We would love to share more and more with you. We want you to come in and share your story in this space, because this is truly a judgment-free zone.
Yes.
Whew. Okay, so we're at the top of the hour, but we're gonna say goodbye or see you later. Ladies, you each have something to say in closing. Love Healing Room, do you have something to say in closing before we get ready to sign off?
I just want everybody to inhale, exhale your shit.
Yes. Yes. And be sure to come back and join us next week as we talk about heal your story.
Yes.
Heal your story.
Awesome.
Yes. And don't forget to check out our merchandise.
Oh,
You didn't
yes,
mention that.
yes. Go to our Etsy store, Love Healing Room. Actually, go to our website now. Click on
Right.
thelovehealingroom.com and you can shop directly from the website.
Yes.
Yes. Elevation.
Yes.
Yes.
More to come, more to come. But get some love in your life. Whew, turn it on, turn it up.
Mhm.
Yes. All right, but for now, we're gonna say, did you have some final shares before we get ready to say goodnight?
I just love,
And
I
then-
just love. I love you. I love you.
Yes.
I don't even know you, but
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Yes.
Yes.
Shalom.
Yes. Namaste.
Yes.
Bye. Till next time.
Good night. See
Bye.
you guys next week.
Yes.
That good sound came on. Hey, this is